right in the heart of Silver Bullet.
Yeah. I think they plotting on man. Don't wipe their feet when they enter the L.A.R. I feel a cold stare.
I was teaching, parents would come up to the school in their pajamas. I'm like, nobody's taking you seriously when you pulling up like that. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, customer service is different when you look like you don't care. They treat you like that. For example, there are people who they wear their black shades all the time.
Mm.
Now on the surface, it just looks like they're just being, they're being cool. But that's also another form of hiding. It's the same way where sometimes you may see a woman who's just super provocatively. And a lot of times, in some cases, if a woman didn't feel validated by her father, then all of that low cut, super tight, up high, all this skin exposure, a lot of times those women are going out to seek validation.
Security.
The guy with all the brands, top to bottom, he got a brand on, he got the extra chains and extra, but everything it looked like fashion and a disco ball just threw up on him and everything is shiny, everything is just confusion. That's another form. What is it about some of these people that makes them feel like they have to be seen? And a lot of times it's because they don't have enough presence. So they got to figure out these external things to try to get validation on being seen.
What's happening, man? Learn how to present yourself. I think, as we call him Uncle Marvin now, but he's absolutely right, man. They used to tell us as a kids, dress for the occasion, right? So whatever you're doing, be dressed for that. And I remember even in school, young, like fifth to eighth grade, they'll have us, they'll make us every now and then come to school in a suit to see how different you're treated when you dress it differently. And I realize now that a lot of people just doing any old thing. Like, I'm grown, I can do whatever I want, and now you're gonna make yourself look crazy. And people don't get that. And a lot of times, how you present yourself has a lot to do with you, as he was talking about, you internally and what you projecting out. Like, if you're too flashy, if you're too overly sexual, if you're too bummy, too lounging, if you lounge too much, you know, if how can I say this? If you overly dress for the wrong thing, you get what I mean? A lot of people are like, "What you talking about?" Like, you ever seen somebody like Fabulous, the rapper, when they had the video of him going to the gym and he had to just, I'm bro, you working out, cut it out, you're doing too much. But people in society don't get it at this point. Like, man, if you go out in public looking unkept, you're gonna get treated unkept. You get what I mean? And people want to say don't judge a book by a cover, but in a general sense, you're the book. You know what I'm saying? You're the book and you put the cover on yourself. So, like, let me say it this way. Like, if I go to the gym, I'm dressed out in workout clothes. And if I go to the grocery store or go run an errand in my workout clothes, you can tell I just left the gym. You get what I mean? Well, it's not a, it's but I'm not gonna get up in the morning and say, you know what? Let me just put these pajamas on and go to the store. No, no. It's crazy. You know, a lot of times people are doing too much because people now there's a fashion for everything. People want to dress like a prostitute. There's a fashion for that. Dudes who want to dress like thugs. There's fashion for that. People who want to what is that? Be free spirit. They got a certain way they present themselves. People that are very regimented or structured. They dress a certain way. They present themselves a certain way. And then what it is people want the same results. I want to present myself as aloof, but I want to be treated like I got it all together. And here's the thing about that. Is it wrong for people to make assumptions about you and treat you bad? Yeah, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Sometimes you don't want to deal with it, but that's life. And like, there's a difference when people think you don't belong somewhere, and it's like, why you do like you don't belong here, so they treat you a certain way. You see that class, race, gender, you see that, but there's no reason to put extra sauce on it. Like take for instance, watch this. There's no reason for grown men to sag now. That's like, I'm 46, and I'm like, bro, listen, I was in my early to mid 20s when I figured out um, pants, length and width, and uh, short sizes. I don't have to sag, a pair of large shorts if they come to the knees. You know okay, these come to the knees, these come above the knees. Let me get the ones that go to the knees. What's the problem? But people buy them. No, you out of pocket. Same thing, when they tell you it's a dress code, and you purposely don't fit the dress code because you want to be rebellious. See, I can do whatever I want. You can do whatever you want, but not here though. Why are you acting like that? Nah, why are you acting like that? It's a white party. You wearing orange. Why are you acting like that? But I can do what I want. Do what you want over there. Same thing like when they was talking about the parents coming to the school looking unkept. It's like, why am I going to take you serious? This is about your kids' education, and you can't even get out your house looking like you did something. Because here's the thing about people who do the pajamas, bonnet type of thing. It's not like people came to your front door and that's how they rung the doorbell and that's how you work. You at 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock, you went out in public like that. So you don't take yourself seriously. You're just doing nothing. That's what it looks like. You're a person who does nothing. Same thing with the guys. It's like, you're doing too much. And the other thing about that is, I don't know if a lot of y'all could tell this, but we can tell if something is actually you or not. Like, you got like people who are tatted up, right? There are people who are tatted up. You like, I get it. That's 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 who they are. What they got, the way that they presented themselves, that's part of who they are. And then you got people who tatted up, and you're like, what? Why did you even do that? You did that because you thought it was cool, and now you look like an idiot because it doesn't match who you are. And a lot of times people are finding themselves, and I get that. But part of finding yourself is learning to dress for the occasion and present yourself for the occasion. That's part of it because you got to understand. Okay, I feel like this, I feel like that. Like, it's not just because people have different styles, right? That's not a thing. That's not an issue. But people find a style that fits who they are. But you experiment with this, that, and this, that, and the third. I got friends, we dress completely different. Sometimes they want to do what I do. Sometimes I want to do what they do. Well, not no more, but when I was like in college and all that, like, because, I'm one of those people who I got, how can I say this? I've learned how to do it, but I only do it when I have to. Like if I'm going to an event, you're gonna get a different person. You're gonna get a person suit, tie, shoes, I'm in it. You get what I'm saying? Lapel, I get it. If I'm going out, depending on like you learn how to do stuff for the weather, you know, how can I say this? Like I talk about this. I used to talk about this with my son. Same thing going about with presentation. I was like, look, there's colognes for the spring and summer. There's colognes for fall and winter. There's just like there's clothes for spring and summer and clothes for fall and winter. So people get your presentation because it's it. I'm not going to dress for wintertime in the summer. I look crazy. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to wear shorts in February. Well, I'm in Texas. Sometimes you can, but it don't make like when I was in Chicago. Absolutely not. But people don't realize like you're gonna get judged whether you like it or not. And people go, "Don't judge a book by the cover." And it's like, bro, you presented the book, you know. And and part of that I also say is this. Then you'll know if somebody really has an issue with you if you presented yourself for the occasion and they still acting crazy. You get what I'm saying? If it's a black tie event and somebody acting crazy with you, this it's them. You know what I mean? If you got workout clothes and you at a gym and somebody acting crazy, you know it's them. If you at a restaurant and you pretty much fit how the restaurant is dressed and they messing with you, it's them. But if you doing too much or too little, it's you. Like I remember, I'm gonna get out of here after this. I remember some years back, um, I went to like a currency concert. It was at a club, and this girl came down the street, and basically she had what is that, boxer briefs, panties, and a halter top, right? So, but it was like it basically you could say a sports bra and some boxer brief shorts. And she came to the door, and everybody looking at her, and she like, "Why y'all looking at me?" And the bouncer said, "You came out the house like this. Don't ask that stupid ass question." And I feel uncomfortable. It's like you can go home. You because this downtown Houston at the time. So you drove all the way downtown and walked down because I think the club was off of Main or whatever, close to Main. You walked all the way to the club and I can't believe y'all looking at me. You basically came out here with some drawers on, a sports bra, and some shoes. You were gonna look at you. Same thing happened at a where was I at? I was at a club. This was years ago too. It was a club, but then there was like a lesbian club next to the club. So the parking lot was mixed. And this girl came out basically in lingerie. And the guys that like we looking at her like, what the okay. And then why they looking at that? And the dude just like, girl, you and because it was one of them like lace type of joints. Like, girl, you just walk around here and draw. Hey, people gonna look at you. Shut up. And she was with like her girlfriend, boyfriend, and the girl was kind of like, it's like, shut the hell up. And partially same thing with the airport, right? When people go to the airport, when I go to the airport, I pretty much have like shorts. If it's hot, shorts, shirt, that shoes. Because I already know I got to get on that damn conveyor belt. So let me just keep it simple. You know, I don't need to do too much. Put a few things in, put your wallet and stuff in the thing. Let's go. Chill wear, right? Got my actual clothes for where I'm gonna be in my luggage. Same thing. Wintertime, same thing. Pants, shirt, maybe hoodie, and bam, let's get in and out. But I ain't finna get on the plane, when dressed in no damn pajamas. That's trifling. It don't make no sense. But people do this stuff and then get and wonder why people looking at them crazy. Same thing he was talking about with the school. Don't embarrass your damn kid. You come to the school looking like you don't give a damn about nothing, and they're like, "That's why the kid's stupid." No, it's not that. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But I'm gonna leave that alone, man. Tell me what you think. Catch you on the next one. Peace.